Welcome back to the Unpaid Nobodies, everybody. Your number one destination for music news, hot takes, album reviews, and deep dives. Got a pretty exciting episode this week, just a three-man show. But before we get to our headline topic and our review, let's go ahead and get into some news.
Of course, yeah. I'll jump right into it. It's been a light week, to be honest. There's not a lot going on. There's one big album coming out. G Herbo is dropping Big Swerve. Of course, you're going to see big name features such as 21 Savage, Chief Keef, and all those stars that rock with him. So I think that'll be dope. This is still another chance for me to get into Chicago drill that I keep missing out on. So maybe I'll give it a shot, see how it goes. In terms of singles, we have A$AP Rocky featuring J. Cole. This is actually a very big announcement. They're dropping Ruby Rosary, and it's produced by The Alchemist. So this is going to be a big one. I feel like A$AP Rocky's album is right around the corner now, so this is a hell of a leading single. Then we got some other.
I just hope these singles aren't the best releases.
This is also true. And he's even had music videos for some of the singles, so he's going all out. Which, I mean...
He is. But that gets me to think, like, these might be the best songs on the album.
I'm hoping not. I feel like... I don't know, A$AP Rocky, I don't want to say, like, he's underrated, because I feel like a lot of people mess with A$AP Rocky, but I feel like Travis took his style and became more pop stream with it.
But he just doesn't make music as much anymore, so he kind of just fell out.
He used to make music, now he makes money.
Well, yeah, I'm about to say.
Puma collabs have been going crazy.
I mean, don't get me wrong, his fashion sense is ridiculous, and it always has been, so if he can make money off of it, I ain't mad at it.
Look who he's married to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the power couples, so.
Loyalty.
Well, you kidding. Look, if I was in that relationship, I think I'll have some pretty good loyalty.
All right, we're gonna stop right there before you say anything that's gonna get you canceled. Moving on.
I swear I won't say anything. Moving on to some other stuff. We do have Quavo and Ty Dolla $ign dropping If I Fall. Apparently, this is one of the songs with the Transformers soundtrack, as though we don't have enough Transformers in our life. So that's a thing.
Has it not been a minute? Or wait, I've completely lost track.
Like, I feel like there's been like 6 of them.
Wasn't there like a...
Or am I tweaking?
Wasn't there like a...
There's been so many of them.
There was like a standalone Bumblebee movie, and then there was like...
There was a standalone Bumblebee?
Oh, yes.
I think this is like...
There's a lot of them.
Like a reboot almost.
Jesus. There's been 7. That's kind of disgusting.
I just know the original 3, pretty much, the Shia LaBeouf ones.
Yeah, I was going to say that's about the extent of my knowledge. I might know more about this than Fast and Furious, but that's not saying much.
Brandon would know more.
Yes, Brandon would probably know more, but hey, power to him. I don't think I'm missing too much here. Besides that, we have Piece by Piece, which I'm assuming is another song to a soundtrack for his own movie that's coming out.
So, yes.
Tomorrow. Do you guys know when that's coming out? I actually don't know.
What's the title again?
It's like
Pharrell legal movie? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what it's actually called. Is it Brick by Brick or Piece by Piece, actually?
Piece by Piece, yes. I said Brick by Brick. I've been listening to too much West Side Gun.
Well, but Lego Bricks, it makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Piece by Piece, October 11th.
Okay, there we go. So, right around the corner, really. It's not far off.
This has been in production for 5 years. That's crazy. I'm actually excited for this. This feels like a very interesting thing.
I would definitely go see this. I'm looking at the cast. Kendrick, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake, Timberland, Busta Rhymes. And in terms of the artists, there's also big name actual actors and actresses in there. Pusha T. So I'm sure it's going to be dope. He has probably one of the more interesting lifestyles in the culture, so I'm sure he'll bring a dope perspective. And he also has another single coming out with Lil Yachty, Lil Wayne, and Kyle Rich, calling Hold Me Down, which will be pretty dope. A lot of huge names in that, so should be dope for that. But really, that's it for music. Like we said, it's a pretty slow week. We said end of summer lull, but we do
And this summer, beginning of fall, where it's like
you know,
right before everyone's gearing up for Grammys.
pretty much. We need a Sad Boy album for the fall, basically. I'm sure it's somewhere.
I'm sure Juice WRLD's estate will drag his shambling corpse out one more time for us.
Look, it's either you get that or Drake album. He's October's own.
Make it stop. Make it stop. Make it stop.
I mean, or we're about to talk about next.
Yes, or we could get something much more promising. The Weeknd has finally revealed the actual title to his next album, Hurry Up Tomorrow. I believe this is the end of the trilogy for After Hours and Don FM. So, I'm sure Brandon is somewhere very excited. I am also excited, though. This should be really
excited.
And hopefully, more than anything, I want a tour. I just need to see him live.
I haven't seen him live either yet, so that's gonna be.
Here, bye.
That's gonna be.
This is gonna be.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So all three of us need to go, and I'm assuming it's going to be Soldier Field again. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I had friends who went last time, and I just wasn't into him like that at the time. So.
Yep. Exact same thing happened to me. I completely threw it away. But yeah, that should be dope. On the other end, we have some sad news that literally just came out today. Everyone I know has been talking about this, but Rich Homie Quan has apparently passed away. Rumors are that it's by OD at the age of 34, unfortunately. So, passing of, I would call a legend myself, but man, he had some great hits in that summer of 2014 with him, the Migos, Young Thug, Jesus. So,
yeah. I mean, he's gonna be remembered definitely in the rap game. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
From what I've been reading online, they're saying like he got bad pills or something like that. So
yeah, that's how unfortunately a lot of them go.
yeah,
But
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Rest in peace. Hope his family's okay. Hopefully all his fans, friends, and etc. are doing well.
But isn't it kind of like also ironic where it's like Young Thug is going through all of this in court, and wasn't it yesterday they asked, like, I forget who was on the stand, like, asked if he had problems with Rich Homie.
Really?
And,
I didn't know.
he just smirked.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like,
No, thank you.
it does to me, being someone that is like really high half the time because he's unemployed, it's just like overthinking this probably, because it's like,
Right.
if that was just said yesterday and today he's
weird timing.
dead,
Yeah.
like timing, and Young Thug being in court and all that with all this, so it's like
Yeah.
something doesn't add up.
I feel like a lot of the stories,
Conspiracy.
and yeah, some conspiracies are definitely going on. I feel like a lot of the story hasn't came out because I know like it's very unclear. The OD is not confirmed; it's more rumored, and also I don't know if we get like an actual time of death yet. I just feel
I
like
haven't really got it. I mean, just outlets are reporting that a family member has confirmed that he
Oh,
died.
okay, well,
But that's it. That's all they're saying. Like, a family member confirmed. And
I'm
nothing else.
sure. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm sure more will roll out over time, but I don't know. We'll see eventually.
It's gonna come back to Thug.
Yeah, hopefully,
Come back.
as though he's not dealing with enough already.
It's gonna come back.
It was that tweet I saw. I think I shared earlier. The tweet that I found where it's like somebody tweeted into 2014 that like there would never be another summer like this, and we fast forward 10 years and like we lost Rich Homie Quan. We're down one Migo and Young Thugs in jail. So like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? But anyway, that's all the news for the week. It is a very light week, but we do have an amazing album to cover this week. Unfortunately, Brandon is missing out because I feel like he's been the biggest promoter out of all of us. But we do have Doechii, and she released Alligator Bites Never Heal last week. I believe it was on Friday. And this has been a long awaited album. I feel like there's been a lot of hype around Doechii. I've discussed it with, we all have discussed on the podcast a lot. She's the newest signing to TDE and Capitol Music, signed back in 2022. She's from Florida. She initially released her first project under her own means on her own budget and it did very successful. It was trending on TikTok, and we got the signing in 2022. So here we are. I would say, what are you guys' background with Doechii? Have you listened to any of her music previously?
This is the first I've heard of her.
Okay, that. And then Jasper,
Besides Brian being a big advocate for her, like this is the first I've really actually listened to her.
and
I
said,
haven't listened to anything else. Well, I actually really haven't listened to her before this.
okay, I
It's
got
the
you.
first album, first any of her music I've heard. So
Do you know if she's been like any singles? Because I know she's done some music with like.
not that I can think about off the top of my head.
Okay, for sure. So you got a brand new outlook then. Jasper, have you listened at all?
I've heard singles here and there. I haven't listened to any of her other projects, but I know that just given like the TDE proximity, it's like, yeah, somebody whose name has come up and who I've heard featured.
Yes, absolutely. I would say the signing of TDE is very deserved, and naturally, when you hear TDE, you're gonna get something promising. But yeah,
She's very promising. Like,
yeah, no kidding. I'm sure the resources around her is even amplifying her skill set, but damn, this is one of the better artists I've heard in a while, especially newer artists.
oh yeah, this is kind of. I mean, right now I feel like TDE is kind of reminiscing on how they were 12 years ago in 2012, 2013 with a bunch of good young artists that are on the come up. I feel like that's where they are again now. Like this album being compared to Section 80 right before Kendrick blew up, I I totally agree. It just you can tell she's there, she's ready, she's hungry, and she brings something different for the female rappers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is one of the best sounds, and I'm not gonna lie, like you mentioned, especially for female rappers who are already on the come up right now. Recently, she stood out more than anyone else. I like this project more. I mean, obviously not meaning to compare them, but it's just natural in the genre. But like, I like this more than Megan Thee Stallion's last album. I like this more than Lotto's album that just came out. This
This sounds more hip hop. This sounds more hip hop, more rap. Those sound more commercial, more poppy.
Absolutely, it's very traditional to the roots of like hip hop. And what's interesting, even if you look her up like on Wikipedia, she technically is the first female rapper signed to TDE. So like,
Like SZA, she's R&B.
right. So this is huge, and considering just doing like a little research, I don't know if you guys remember the TDE schedule. I feel like like you mentioned, this is TDE's run. This is intentional. I think this year is either the 20th or 25th year, one of the two, for the label to be in existence. And at the beginning of this year, they have the schedule of Schoolboy Q, Thur, J-Rock, Doechii, Rayvon, Doechii, SZA, Absol, Isaiah Rashad, in that order, and so forth. And then there's even a rumored where it might be like something compared to a Revenge of the Dreamers type of thing for TDE. So I think they're on perfect timing schedule, and this fit perfectly in where it needed to be. I would say my background with her, I did listen to Other Places You'll Go when it initially came out, and I've been following her, but I don't revisit it too often. But I will say this album I've listened to probably 4 or 5 times this week, and there's some songs in here that are going to be coming up most definitely in my golden nugget. So I guess that we've talked about the background and her background specifically. What did you guys like think coming into the album off the first listen? Anything
Shocked.
specifically?
I was more shocked and awe that it was this good, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd be this good. I thought it'd be good, but like,
yeah,
really good beats, really good lyrics, like all around good.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. I was listening. I really listened to leading singles because I want to listen to it as a whole concept in the album. But I did catch some of her leading singles leading up to this and the music videos. And like from that moment, I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is something special. This is going to be sticking out more than all the other albums that are coming out recently." Right off the bat, obviously we'll kind of go down the track list and talk about like some of the songs that stood out. But like you mentioned, the lyrics are actually what mattered. Like this is the first album in a minute. I actually pulled up lyrics and like, you know what? Let me see what she's saying, because the metaphors, the actual flow, it comes together pretty damn nice. It comes together pretty nice. I guess just jumping right into it then. Should we do like a track list breakdown?
Let's do it.
All right, bet. Let's, and I don't think we've done this in a while. We haven't actually done song by song in a very long time. But starting off with Stankapoo, which is so hood, I love it. Did you guys have any impressions off the first song?
I don't know that I did off the first one. I think Bullfrog was really where I was like, okay, I can see where this is going, like where things started to, like link for me.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like an intro song, it's not like offensive or anything. It just didn't grab me right away. But yeah, solid opener.
Yeah, it is a lot more low key. I don't want to say slower pace, but it's not in your face. It's kind of slides in very easily.
Definitely.
You're right. It picks up. I would say for me, I noticed the music change at Boiled Peanuts with the little skit at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this kind of nice. And then it goes into Denial is a River, and I was like, oh no, like this is hard. Like,
Yeah.
this caught me off guard. The breathing at the end, the like narrative talking to your inner self, killed it. Insane.
That
And
was
some of the
wild.
story she's telling is nice. It is dope.
It had big guilty conscience energy, like early Eminem.
Yes. Absolutely. Which I'm sure is one of the like influences. One thing that stood out to me the most, which I feel like I've never actually been able to say and like meet it before, but I actually felt the Nicki Minaj influence. I was like, man, like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that aggressive like push behind
Oh
it.
yeah.
Man, nah, this one hit. Denial is a River is the one I was talking about. I feel like that's gonna be one of my top songs at the end of the year, because like it just fits so perfectly for me.
Yeah.
But after that, we lead into Catfish, and I feel like it does continue the hoorah ad lib fits very well within like, I feel like there's a whole run of maybe 4 or 5 songs here where the sound does fit very well together, and some of the things that she's discussing of like her past and things coming together, I think it's dope. I think it shows a lot of promise. That's all. Wow. So let me see this.
I remember Bloom standing out to me.
Bloom?
I liked Bloom. Yeah.
Let me see. Was Bloom the one with the skit at the beginning? Or they actually, yes, Bloom was the one with the skit at the beginning where she's actually talking about like balancing all the things in her life.
Yep.
Kind of like, I don't know, like maybe a family member comes in. They're kind of saying like, no, place things like where they deserve to be.
Yeah.
Like the past, the present, the future. I love that. So I agree. That was also another standout track for me. Let me see. She actually, and this is, I feel like this actually shows some of her softer side as well. We don't get a ton of singing, I think, in the beginning half, but I think towards, especially in Bloom and a little bit later, we do get a little bit more smoother music that comes into it, and she shows her skill set. Like she shows she can rap, she shows she can flow with the melody. It's a lot that goes into it, so I do like it. And then I think another one that stood out for me was the boom bap. This was also very traditional. It's like hip hop. It sounds amazing. I should have looked up who actually produced that one, because I feel like that one reminds me of something that could be like an Alchemist beat or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one thing I really liked about the whole album was like how it sounded so old school, like late 90s, early 2000s,
Yes.
just like not too like trap heavy beats, just like good laid back beats where you can just cruise to.
I definitely agree with that. I think sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you have something to say about Boom Bap, go for it.
I don't know. I was just gonna say in general, like building off what Jeff was saying. When I was talking to Brandon about it, he was going to write a little paragraph, but I don't think he had time to. He was saying this does feel like traditional TDE. Like I feel like this
Yeah.
actually feels like it fits within a TDE project, and the West Coast right now is leading the genre, if we're being honest, at least this year. And so you do get that traditional sound. It doesn't sound like some trap heavy new style hip hop. It's just very clean. But go ahead.
Just gonna say, let's talk about the best song on the album,
Which one?
Nissan
The Nissan?
Altima. Oh my
Yes.
God. This is the one that stood out to me. This is probably the only one right now. I got through the project twice. Probably the only one I could, like, just off of the way it sounds, pick it out by name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the leading singles too. I don't know if it came with a music video, but yes,
so
this
good, dude.
one.
It's so hard. The beat is crazy. It just feels like a never ending. It feels like you're playing like Ridge Racer, like some old arcade like driving game, doing 120 in a Nissan Altima with the back bumper falling off.
Yes, it just fit. It even the name fits so well with it.
Yeah, this is for the ski girlies. It's like the evolution of that. It's like elevate your taste just a little bit, you know?
Yep, I was literally about to say this is what you'll hear. Just like 20 girls going down the street in one car, just blasting. But yes, it fits very well. And honestly,
Be the song of the summer for next year
Yeah,
down in Lakeshore Drive.
it does have a video too.
oh, it does. Okay, I figured this might have been on with the video.
Yeah, it came out a
That's
month
pretty
ago,
perfect title track for her.
and
Like, this
yeah.
screams her.
and it's like a gray or like the I guess like a metallic gray Nissan Altima, like the classic like '08 color. Yeah,
Mhm.
top tier.
No, they know what they're doing. He's got crazy talent. Crazy talent. I'm trying to think some other ones that kind of stuff. I'm doing little lists and skip bits here and there.
I only got through this album once, so I'm terrible at songs.
Oh yeah. No, I get that. I would say another one that kind of stood out just because it was very different. Like I was mentioning earlier, it shows that she can flow with the melody, but Fireflies does sound pretty good in my opinion. It is much slower though, but it does kind of show like she can do a lot. She brings a lot to the table, and that's one thing that even prior to listening to the album, that's one thing I was looking out for because obviously SZA was going to promote her as well, as I'm sure they will have many songs together in the future. But one thing SZA was saying, like one thing that she loves about Doechii, you can't put her in a box. Like you can't really, you can't control it to one thing. And I think that I don't want to say that it's rare because I feel like it's maybe overstating her like impact, but I feel like a lot of artists we listen to nowadays, they're almost put in a box. It's almost one dimensional. So
I mean,
be a great addition.
to back that, I mean, if you've seen what she's done lately with everyone's comparing her how she looks like a guy, she's just trolling everyone back.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. And it's like, God, people get so much hate for no reason. Like for no reason. That's ridiculous. But yeah, we close out with Alligator Bites Never Heal. And this is like probably the softest song. A nice closer to what's overall a more upbeat album. And I feel like this is something I don't want to say like lo-fi, but what's the I had it earlier. It almost reminded me of like something summery. I was thinking like Childish Gambino, like the summer
Kawhi verse.
Yes, absolutely. It's very flowery, and I think it's something that you just mentioned. It shows her nice little feminine side. It just kind of expresses how she feels and what she brings to the table, and I don't know. I think it's really dope.
So it shows how she can. It shows how she can eventually evolve into like doing some more commercial, more poppy stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And I think speaking of just like her being able to sing, one of the leading singles, I don't know if it made the album, but it showed her, it was a music video essentially, and it showed her like in her room, like crying, cleaning up her room and things of that nature. It just, yeah, let me see if I can find it. Sunday's Best. I don't think it actually made the album.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, and that would be another one where it's just like, if you don't know, do some research. You will see she could do everything.
Yeah.
Actually, now I'm looking at it, Florida Water, there's a couple of songs that didn't even make the album. So, she can do it all. She's got a whole bag, and I'm sure a whole catalog of music for us waiting. So, I'm excited. I'm very excited, to be honest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think
She's definitely. I feel like TDE is like how they all got behind Kendrick. I think she's gonna be leading the next generation of TDE. Where you got Schoolboy Q there. Like Kendrick's off doing his own thing now, but you got Schoolboy Q, um, Absol, and fuck, who else?
J Rock.
J Rock. So you got those three more as the veterans,
Yes.
you know, overlooking all this upcoming class that they have. So
I agree.
you're getting a hell of a lot of experience to work on your lyrics, great producers that they already have connections with, pick the minds of some of the best.
Yeah, honestly, all the resources are there for her to win. And like you mentioned, I think that's actually a really good point. I think TDE will need to turn the chapter soon, where
Yeah.
kind of the veterans may be either retiring, taking a step back, whatever they want to do.
Or they go off and do their own thing.
Exactly. Because like J Rock signed 2005. He has 13 releases out. Absol 2007. He has 7 releases out. Q 2009. He has 6. And then SZA, you kind of see that turn back where you see 2013. You got SZA and Isaiah Rashad at the same time. Everyone else is relatively new, at least to the label, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could.
And you need that face. You need that someone that you can put in front. And
Absolutely, I can.
in this generation, in this day and age, what better way to have your next face as a female?
Oh yeah,
Especially in the rap game.
Yep, absolutely.
You don't see it.
Yeah, and if we're being honest, like, don't get me wrong, I love all the TDE, but like, I don't know if Lance Skywalker has dropped an album like this. Sir has dropped some good albums. I'll give him to that. Zakari hasn't dropped an album like this. Ray Vaughn hasn't dropped an album like this. So like, she's coming in and killing half of the new people in TDE, in my opinion. So I'm here for it.
Did that?
But also, I feel. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, did that new Zakari album come out yet or no?
It did come out, and like, it kind of came and went, to be honest. Like, even me, I like Zakari. I love Zakari's first album.
Yeah.
The newest one, I think I listened twice.
I didn't even know it was out yet. I should give that a listen.
Yeah, it's been out for a minute.
Yep.
I just feel like with who TDE has right now is just like you don't have any like true rappers or truly dedicated rappers. Like Doechii is the first of that, where you got a true dedicated rappers. 'Cause all those artists you named, I feel are
not,
more R&B ish than true rap.
And even if it is rap, it's a it's not a traditional rap. I think that's the focus.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not a traditional rap.
Yes, and it is good, especially a label like TDE, like Dreamville, like the big names. You need at least one traditional person to be like, all right, like, let's bring it home. Let's give it to the old heads, or let's give it the quality music.
Yeah, like Martin Luther King.
Yep, sure.
I mean, I think they're also looking at how Cash Money fell.
Yeah,
how Young Money fell. Like,
that is true, but I feel like they didn't really. I don't know how good they're
after, but it's more as like you see your stars leave, and then you got left nothing.
right.
Like Nicki Minaj, she was really the last name after she left.
And that was
They went bankrupt.
I was about to say that was literally it. They had no rising star.
Drake, after he left, it was Nicki. Wayne, he couldn't hold it up by himself.
Yeah. And I mean, it's an unrealistic expectation to do it anyway. Labels like these, they need 4, 5, 6 big names in a very wide range of what they can offer. And you're right, Isaiah Rashad is more spacey, slower, I feel, or it's not traditional. Lance Skywalker is damn near all like it's almost not even hip hop. Sir is literally R&B, like to the core, and the other two is kind of there. So I don't know. I think she can be
Mom's rap. It's your mom's rap. It's your slow, rap, slow R&B rap.
So we'll see. I think it'll be very interesting. Dave Free left TDE, so they're going through a shift. I think, like I said, this year is either the 20th or 25th or
I think
some.
it's 25th.
Oh wait, I'm looking. It's 20th. I think they were founded in
It's 20th.
2014. Yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
look, it's the turn of the ages, and I think it's time. And hey, they found a gold mine, if you ask me. So
And she's from the East Coast.
right, it from the East Coast representing the West.
I mean, you got Eminem from Detroit wrecking the West. So
It's true. That is true. I mean, hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying she has a good balance of all the cultures, and she even brings it up in the music. So
yeah,
hey, she's got my vote. I will be front and center for every release going forward.
oh yeah, I'll definitely be diving deep into more of her albums when they come out,
Oh yeah.
especially anything she puts out with TDE.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I imagine there will even be a tour, if not this winter, probably spring, the latest.
I don't see her headlining a tour. I actually think they'll throw her on with someone.
You think so? Maybe like she'll be a guest
Yeah.
with somebody. Who you think she'll
Or
be?
they're gonna save her for the festivals next year.
That is possible. If you were to see her touring with somebody, who would you think? Because like I'm trying to think about it. Obviously, or not obviously, but what's the trend right now? A lot of the big name female artists are all touring together. So when you get Megan, you get a
Glorilla.
exactly. You'll get a Glorilla, or you'll get a Lotto, or you get a SZA. So who
I mean,
would
if did Lotto announce a tour?
Ooh, I don't know. The thing is, I don't know how well her album actually did. I feel like it.
Yeah, but she's a bigger name than Doechii,
That is
so
true.
she'd go on a tour, and I could see her bringing on Doechii.
Well, I typed in Lotto Tour, and she's gonna be here November 12th. So she's got.
Well, let's scratch that.
You know who I could see touring with or working with Doechii like that is JT. They have a video together, a couple collaborative songs. JT was just here and played the Vic like 3 weeks ago.
I could see it. What was that her tour then?
Yeah, it was like she was the headliner for that. The production company for that is Jam Productions, and their site. Let me see.
Interesting.
I don't know if I can see.
Some of these tours I'm low key missing because you're right. Lotto is on tour literally right now, or no, not right now. It starts October 19th.
So she's been ready.
Like could be a thing.
Yeah, but I honestly think they're gonna save her for the festivals next year.
You think she could do like a
she'll hit all of them. She'll hit all the major ones: Coachella, Bonnaroo,
etc.
Lala. Well, Chicago in the Midwest is different because we got Summer Smash.
Yeah. I mean, she can do Summer Smash if maybe not.
I think they might try and get her for summer. I think they might try and get her for Summer Smash because she's a young name, she's upcoming, and she can headline one of the stages.
That is true. I don't think she can close one, but yeah, I think she can.
She could close stage one.
Maybe, yeah.
The tent for sure.
Oh yeah, that's it. Sure.
That's stage one, yeah, or stage three. Technically, I don't know what the order is, but
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I'm taking a look.
One of the smaller stages, I could definitely see her closing down. Because that's mid early evening, late afternoon.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at this year's lineup. Bia was on there, which I feel like she's bigger than Bia. Maybe I'm assuming. But besides that, it wasn't a lot of female artists this year, to be honest.
yeah.
Because I think if both of them offered for her, I think she might probably try and do Summer Smash over that. Because Lala, I don't think she'd get one of the smallest stages.
Oh yeah,
she'd get a bigger crowd at Summer Smash over Lala, definitely.
Well, you know what? I'm actually sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, has anybody from TDE actually performed at Summer Smash? I feel like that's kind of oil and water a little bit, just in terms of like who the fans are versus like what the content is. I don't know.
I mean, it's a good point though. I'm actually taking a look.
I couldn't see Absol performing at Summer Smash.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. Q maybe could, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's like
Izzo wouldn't go. Isaiah Rashad wouldn't go.
It's like what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? TDE is closer to like what Chance the Rapper's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's a different scene and it's a different fan base than like the Summer Smash crowd, which is much more like trap focused.
I think that's fair too, considering like the big name labels, TDE, Dreamville, anything like that. Like you're not gonna see them at Summer Smash anyway. The closest thing we got to that was Jid, which like
Yeah, and Denzel Curry was supposed to be there, and then that fell through with the weather. So
that's also true. But you know what? I was gonna say I'm actually biting my tongue because I'm looking at last year's 2013.
mm-hmm.
Ice Spice was supposed to be there, but she backed out. Glorilla went, which is like the most obvious comparison. I feel like. There was someone else I saw here that I missed. Oh, Rico Nasty.
Yeah.
Obvious comparison. So, you know what? I'm biting my tongue. I think she could easily be at Summer Smash.
Fair enough, yeah. That'd be interesting.
I'll be there. Front and center. I guess should we just give it a grade then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start. I'll go B+.
B+?
It's good. I'm not going to give it a full A because I don't want to leave expectations too high going into the next album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Into what she has going. So I think B+ is just like, she's there, but don't let it go to your head.
I'm in exactly the same spot. Like, I think it's a good album. I don't know if aesthetically and musically it's like what I would listen to or like come back to regularly. Like some of these tracks do it and are very good. But I want to see, you know, with this being like a very fleshed out project, you know, what happens next and how does she use the momentum from this, you know?
Yes, I fully agree with that. I'm around the same thing, B+, A-. I might jump up to A- personally just because this is technically her first album and
Is
you
it?
don't get first albums like this often. Because the one prior to this...
Isn't Oh the Places You'll Go an album?
I feel like it's an EP.
Oh yeah, it's shorter, you're right. 21 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say it's much shorter. It's a shorter lineup and it's not as complete. At least with this, I won't say it's a concept album, but it's damn compact and dense and it gives a good story. So at least for opening albums, like it's no Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg, but like this is better than 90% of first albums that I hear from artists. So I don't know. I'm rooting for her. I'm happy with everything I heard. I will openly admit I may not revisit this as often as other albums this year.
Yeah.
This has been a crazy year.
Yeah.
But like that's not to take away from her. This is something very good and I would highly promote it and recommend it to essentially any hip hop fan.
Yeah.
But okay. Good impressions. Well, should we do recommendations though? This is a smooth episode.
Let's do it.
Is anybody ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. I'll go with my first one. It's going to be a classic off the Carter 3. I'm going with Lil Wayne, Tie My Hands.
Love it. It is a classic. Every Lil Wayne song is a classic.
I wouldn't say every Lil Wayne song, but
Majority of them, yes. But this one
almost every song off the Carter 3, definitely.
Absolutely. I actually saw very quick side piece. I saw my cousins and I were talking about it. If you had to take one off, it would be Lil Wayne, Eminem, 50 Cent, and Jay-Z. And we all pretty much agreed 50 Cent. But like no one was going to say Lil Wayne. Nobody said Lil Wayne.
No, he's just too lyrically good.
No, yes. That's one of the most important names in the genre, I would say. All right, Jasper, you ready?
Yeah. There's an artist who I have seen in concert once, who I don't really listen to, but who made a serious impression on me, and who I need to listen to more, and that's 070 Shake. Oh my God, she opened for Kid Cudi on the Man on the Moon tour, drinking like a full ass glass of wine during the set, and with like this blood red background, super intense. It was super, super good. And the song Black Dress came on my blend with my girl the other day in the car, and I was like, man, this fucking hits. So definitely that as my recommendation. Also, funny thing, one weird thing is that Purvis, she's the same age as you and I, despite very much. She she looks 35. Everything about her screams 35.
Yeah.
She's 27, and like her birthday's like a month after mine. She's like a little younger than us. It's bizarre, but
No,
there you go. Yeah,
Look,
yeah, but like not in a bad way. In like damn, she's like together. You know, like it's interesting.
I agree.
But yeah, that song hits.
Oh yeah, and I remember opening for Kid Cudi as well. That was a crazy set.
Yeah.
That was a crazy set. My first song, I don't know why Spotify has been feeding this song to my headset like nonstop, but I feel like every time I finish an album or a playlist, it's been playing the song "Mutt" by Leon Thomas. I had a huge Leon Thomas phase last year. I believe his R&B album did come up in my top 10 actually, and I believe Mutt came out recently, and like it's a damn good song. It's a really good song, so I highly recommend it. Jeff, you ready?
Yeah, my next one's gonna be West Side Gun, Versace.
Already approved.
Just flipped through my songs one day and it popped down, and I'm like, oh, I like this one a lot.
I need to finally make my West Side Gun playlist. But yeah, very good song. And Jasper?
My last one is a kind of a double. I re-listened to Igor. Like I actually haven't touched that album in a minute, even though I'm a huge fan of it. And a track that I never really, I guess, I appreciated it, but I never really like gave it credit for how good it is Gone Gone Thank You, the like split track. And everything about that is just starts out, it's kind of jammy, vibey, and then it has an abrupt switch into Thank You where it's very intense with like the beat shift and everything else. So good.
Okay.
And just like, you know, one of the better songs from the end of that album, the tail end, which it definitely has a crescendo with New Magic Wand and then kind of de-escalates from there, but really good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A classic 10th Tyler song.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay, but I will close this out. I actually wanted to promote some more TDE since I've been listening to Doechii nonstop, but Lance Skywalker came up on shuffle after I listened to the Doechii album, and Forbidden Fruit. I feel like I actually recommended this one before, but damn, does it hit. It is such a good song. I highly, highly recommend
You did. You recommended it in week 42. Episode 42. It's been a while. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. Yeah.
I feel like I might have forgotten, but yes, highly, highly recommend it. Obviously, I'm still listening to it.
Decent.
Basically a year later.
I always do that. I always Control F and I search the name of the song I'm going to recommend just to make sure I haven't already done it.
So, whoops.
And this week, I like today actually, I put together a playlist for someone who's like not into the genre, and I just put on a bunch of shit that I like. So I was going through like artist discography who I like and just loading shit in. And I got to Lil Uzi Vert and I was like, man, there's so many good Lil Uzi songs. I should recommend one tonight. And then I looked at my recs.
Like you did already.
And last week I did Do What I Want, and the week before that I had Juice WRLD featuring Lil Uzi Vert for Wasted. So I was like, all right, I can't do it three weeks in a row. It's like
Like a break.
It's like the Jimmy Neutron. Shane, this is the third week in a row you brought Lil Uzi Vert to class for show and tell.
And I'll do it again.
And I'll do it again. But yeah, that's our episode. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to smash like, hit subscribe, maybe hit that notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. You'll get notified when we upload new episodes. Or if you're on Spotify, go ahead and leave us a review. Hit that follow button. We upload weekly.
There you go.
GG.
Good.
Night night, everyone.